Yeah. the most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is Iracing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic, real-world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iracing.com.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to coverage of the Left Front Racing League. We are ready to go for another day of racing, and in just a few moments, I will not be a black box. You will finally be able to see my voice. As they said in The Wizard of Oz, pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. I am Wesley Outland. Scott Shive is alongside, and we welcome you to
I'm under your
coverage.
screen right now.
I think so. I mean, yeah. There we go.
There I am.
All right. You know, Cody, I'm going to teach you something about TV. Normally, the lead guy's to the left, the other guy's to the right. So go ahead and take your lumps and fix it. There you go. So anyhow, Scott Shive, moving around. I'm Wesley Outland, and we welcome you to coverage of the Leadfoot Racing League on Elevated TV. And Scott, it's been a while since me and you've worked together. I think you filled in for me on Super Bowl Sunday when I sounded like you know what. And so ready to see what this series will do. We had a fun race last week, obviously, and that was the race at Lanier Raceway. Now we're here at New Smyrna, and Elevated TV, it seems like all week has been at New Smyrna Speedway. We had the Elevated TV Speed Weeks. They had the ASA Late Model Series Stars National event last night. And what better way to have round 2 with the LFRL series than let's go back to iRacing's New Smyrna Speedway, and that's what we're doing with the late model cars this evening.
Yeah, I know our producer, Coder Deemers, is loving New Smyrna at this moment. He's totally not ready to get away from here for a little while, take a break. But I know that y'all had a great race last week at Lanier, and I'm so excited to be here for the rest of the season because this Leadfoot Racing League always puts on great stuff, and we're going to see an exciting one from New Smyrna tonight. A track that these late model stocks don't go to as often. It drives differently than you'd see with most super late models, pro late models that normally run here.
Yeah, you got to love New Smyrna Speedway. I mean, it's a half-mile racetrack. It's fun. It is exciting. You never know what you're going to see. It is one of those tracks where, you know, you could be going 2 and 3 wide 1 minute. The next minute, you know, Scott, you could be going single file. I mean, it's one of those racetracks where I think the driver controls the ability of what type of a racing atmosphere we'll see here tonight for the for Elevated TV's coverage on this Sunday LFRL series.
Yeah, really one of those tracks that it is a driver's track, as most people would call it, really determining how this race will play out from the front of the pack all the way towards the back. This track, like you said, really, very much a paperclip. We've seen it a lot, I would say, in terms of looks, not of driving style. It looks a lot like you'd say Martinsville Raceway, but here tonight, it's definitely nothing like how it races as Martinsville would. Those those corners can be treacherous in the way the banking goes from in the corners to the straightaways.
We welcome you to the Dubby Energy 125, round number 2. of the Eastern Technical Design Incorporated Lead Foot Racing League on Elevated TV. You're looking live at an aerial shot of the racetrack, and the cars are just about ready to wrap up what will be their final practice session. And I'll tell you what, Scott, we're about to go into qualifying. And remember, Pole Award qualifying is presented by Tricked Out Decals. Somebody's about to put an easy $10 in their pocket if they could set fast time here at New Smyrna.
Right now, that driver looking to be Parker Eatman ran last night in the Cars Tour. You got to witness it. Finished 14th there in the race at New River All-American, but looking to do a little bit better here in the iRacing Sim at New Smyrna. He's looking good at the moment. We still got drivers out there making some time right now. This is Jordan Black, your winner from last week at Lanier, a driver that we know has a tumultuous amount of talent.
Very talented driver in the Jordan Black Racing Development entry. He did win at Lanier here tonight. Now at New Smyrna, he's going to try to go for his second win in a row. And I'll be honest with you, Scott, it wasn't easy, right? He kind of had his couple of moments of having some missed calls and getting spun or getting collected in accidents on a restart, but he persevered and he worked his way back up to the front. I saw him yesterday as well. Jordan Black, obviously a spotter on the Cars Tour for Parker Eatman, and Laney Bice in the 03 machine with Jordan Black Racing Development. And there you see Jordan Black in trouble right at the start-finish line as he front-nosed it in the concrete.
And that's so tough. They only get 2 laps to do this here, Wesley. He had put it up into second, just 2/100ths off of the fast time set by Parker Eatman, and he looked to be on a great lap there. So Jordan Black loses the pole. It slips away from him right on the exit of turn number 4, and that's one thing that I was just talking about. The exits of turn 2 and 4, so treacherous as that transition of the banking.
And by the way, last week we had a dirty dozen. Tonight we have 17 drivers that are about ready to roll here at the virtual New Smyrna Speedway. So let's get this started, ladies and gentlemen, and give you, again, $10 going to the man that set fast time. It's Parker Eatman. And again, that fast qualifying award presented by Tricked Out Decals. And now, without further ado, we're ready to introduce the starting lineup for 125 laps. We'll give you the lineup. We'll give you the format of how they'll race. Normally, it's broken down into 2 stages, but nonetheless, the W Energy 125 is set to roll. On the front row, Parker Eatman, 18.113 seconds. That is the Tricked Out Decals Fast Time Award. Jordan Black, winner last week at Lanier. He'll start on the outside of row 1. Tanner Carter will make up row 2 along with the 38 of Tim Hansen. Seth Cole will fire off in the 5th position on row 3 with Dylan Porter to his right elbow in the 32. Zach Franks and Mike Lemieux make up the 1 and the 40 on row number 4. And Scott, Jason Woodham and Jeffrey Comer will make up the top 10 cars.
Back there in row number 6, it will be Travis Lapanis and the 5 of Landon Brown. Then here, 13th and 14th, the 6th of Thad Collins and the 15 of Chandler Joyner. 15th and 16th will be the 91 of Tracy Brown and his brother Lenny Brown. Then back your last 3 cars, 17th, 18th, and 19th, will be Michael Dietsch, Max Kost, and Nolan Crowley, rounding out your 19 car field tonight at New Smyrna.
And how about that? Much better car count as well than what we had, last week? I think we were able to get close to, 12 or 13 cars. So to have close to a 20-car field, I will take that as well. Cody Deemers is working on the production. And hey, by the way, here's what's coming up next on Elevated TV's coverage of iRacing. Don't forget, tomorrow night, I believe Scott, Emmett, and Cody invite you and yours for the FWM Willing Modified Tour. They'll be at USA International tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. On Tuesday, it is the JE Challenge Series from Lernerville. That'll be at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. On Wednesday this week, it's the special with Regal Esports. My buddy Andrew Regal invites you and yours to the Daytona 250. The man that's very popular for handling dirt popular events in iRacing is now doing a pavement show, and it will be right here at 8:30 Eastern on Wednesday. Thursday, I believe I'll be here for this one. It is the FWM Late Model Stocks from Sobo. Good bologna burgers and an awesome racetrack in the Commonwealth of Virginia. It's on iRacing, and that'll be on Elevated TV.
Great. Got a lot of new stuff coming up to you. A lot of great stuff this week. Tomorrow night will be championship night for those modifieds with 4Wide Motorsports, so do not miss out. I'll be on that one calling the championship. It's going to be good. And look at this, Wesley. Standings after last week.
Yeah, there it is. Obviously, Jordan Black is the man that is leading the point standings over Parker Eatman, Travis Lapanis, our buddy from Canada, Landon Brown, and Joshua Cole, top 5. All right, so it's 125 laps of the W Energy 125. We'll get everybody acclimated and ready to come to a green flag, and we'll give you all the details on one fast repair, one attempt at overtime, and a partridge in a pear tree. But for right now, pace cars in. Round 2, Leadfoot Racing League under green at New Smyrna. And did I see a car spun at the bottom of the third on the start?
I think you did. We kept it green. I think that was, yes, the number 6 of Thad Collins. Black flag is going to go around again and into the grass. I think that was a replay of that spin. I think that was the original spin. But yes, he spun. We keep it green for now. Eatman out front in front of Black.
And the field took that green flag, and we are underway for racing. By the way, this is Gear Up Photography Stage 1. This will take us all the way to lap number 40. Any caution within lap 35 to the official lap distance will be considered. The stage break, however, not this early, as the MHD design caution flag coming out over the speedway here in the early going. Was it the 6th car? It might have been here, Scott.
It was. He spun a second time, towed it down onto the pit lane. And so what we saw a moment ago, that wasn't a replay. That was his second spin. This is the original one off of the restart, or the start, initial start. Then he spun around again in turn number 4. When cars came around, he was still down on the bottom of the track.
Yellow flag is presented by MHD Design Incorporated, owned and operated by Mac Morgan, based in North Carolina, a company that excels in creative, innovative architectural interior design solutions. They focus on crafting unique and functional spaces for residential clients, ensuring each project reflects the individual style and needs of the homeowner. Anytime the caution comes out, you hear Scott or myself call it the MHD Design Incorporated yellow flag. All right, so we got an early caution, Scott. What do you say to your crew right now as the crew's saying to these drivers, because you got a yellow flag only 4 laps into this deal?
Yeah, right now, we're going to stay calm. Obviously, we've got a lot of laps to go. You had some drivers gain, lose a few positions off those restart. Tracy Brown and Michael Dietz both gained 2 off the restart. Meanwhile, other drivers like Seth Cole, Jason Woodhup, and Travis Lapanis all lost a few positions or so around there. So a little bit of this will be a real reset. I mean, those laps, quote unquote, won't truly count. So some of these drivers getting a little bit of a reset, almost like they did a little better or worse in qualifying.
So again, a yellow flag out. Parker Eatman up in front, of course, with Jordan Black on the outside. Still a long way to go in this one. This track is at a half-mile distance. It is a half-mile that has some banking. It's not a very high-banked racetrack. But we'll go over all the track dimensions here in just a moment. But first, ready to wrap up our first caution flag, again presented by MHD Design. We'll be ready to go back to the green flag here in Gear Up Photography Stage 1. Back to the line they go, green flag in the air, and we're back to racing. Eatman with a great launch on Black. The 00 follows along in tow, and quickly top 6 or single file, Scott. But behind them, it is frantic racing into the top 10.
Yeah, Seth Cole lost 2 more positions on the restart, smacked the wall outside of turn 2. We continue to look along here up towards the front. There it is, side by side. Here's Jeffrey Gunner and Seth Cole. And you see Seth Cole get the wall again. So he's having a real problem getting this car going.
Yeah, another good solid run now from those guys. Away now, lap 11 on the board of 125. Eatman in the lead. Eatman right now about a half a car lead. Scott Black was second. Then you got the driver of the 00 just patiently ready to pounce on them. That's Tanner Carter. And all the while, as all this happens, you see them quickly knocking off laps. And this is a track, honestly, where if you get in a rhythm here, Scott, you can do just that.
drivers getting in a rhythm. Something I'm seeing right now, a lot of them going all the way to the bottom in turn 1 and 2, as well as 3 and 4 there. So a lot of drivers we've seen, sometimes this track is known for that best line being about the middle, not exactly on the bottom of that yellow line. These drivers choosing that is the best, at least at this moment, in terms of the track conditions. Ethan continues to lead Jordan Black by just under 0.3 of a second. But these front four are close, as well as Carter and Hansen.
Yeah, look at that. Out of it, green, black, and red color, 38, trying to run down Carter. There's your top 4. Right there with one another, coming down the line. Another lap completed. Notice everybody just kind of being down in the bottom of the racetrack in the corners as we see a little concrete dust off of, I believe, Hansen's car, Scott, into the fence. He does not lose any momentum and keeps on rolling.
I think that was more than just Hansen. I think Porter and Zach Franks also got the wall. Again, very easy to do. You're trying to carry all that momentum you can down the front and the back straightaway. Again, longer than a lot of short tracks we go to, so momentum is key at a racetrack like this. And look at this. This has allowed Porter, Franks, and Lemieux to all scoot up. So this is really the first 7 are all right there together. It's anyone's race at this point.
So glad that you're joining us on this Monday evening. About to put lap number 15 on the board next time by the Leadfoot Racing League round 2 for season 2 at New Smyrna Speedway. Elevated TV coverage. As right now it is Parker Eatman coming off of the opener of the National Dodge of Jacksonville 225 last night in Onslow County at New River All-American Speedway. And Parker Eatman had a top 15 finish. As right now we watch him lead the way here at 16 of 125, and it is still him up in front. Black in second. Look at this great earnest racing going on back into turn 1.
It's Seth Cole yet again moving farther and farther back. I kind of think that he just is not finding the best way around this track. He had a great qualifying effort, but through traffic here is not able to find his way towards the bottom, not putting in the lap times that at least he did in this qualifying session. And Seth Cole has gone all the way from when he started in 5th. He's now back to 16th. He's going to drop back to 17th.
Love the rumble, the thunder of these cars around the track as we're closing in on halfway mark of stage number 1. Remember, stage 1 will go all the way to lap number 30. Any possible in the 35 lap mark of the race will be considered the stage break. Back and go again. And then they'll race again for that second stage. One additional set of tires. So you got the set that you got on the car now, and then the additional set on the plane. One pass repair, that's kind of a mulligan, if you will, where you can hit that escape button and start over again. One additional overtime, and another thing that makes the race go by quickly as well, Scott Shive, caution lap count. So you got to make a choice, driver. Do you want to run a race with a caution test and use up your track time under yellow, or do you want to try to get as many green flag racing laps as you can?
One of the things chosen here by the Leadfoot Racing League, and I think, we truly have not seen too many cautions in all the races that you and I have gotten to see here, so I think that's a good call by them. Have those cautions count. We don't see too many calamities or anything of the nature. I imagine that in a situation as such, maybe if a race went really poorly for them or anything else, they might rethink that. But as of now, really the races that you and I have gotten to call have been very, very clean. We know we've got drivers of high tenure within this series, and that's why they race so cleanly and put on such a great show.
Tonight's race separated by 10 points. Jordan Black has 1 win, won at Lanier, obviously, last week. Parker Eatman is back in second. He is 6 points back. 7 points back is Travis Lepenis, followed by 8 points back Landon Brown. 9 points back is Seth Cole in the top 10, and Nolan Crawley is 10 points back in 6th. as right now we watch all these guys working their way. Tanner Carter, by the way, was given a win a few weeks ago, as he's right now 7th in the point standings. However, or 8th in the points. However, it was a non-points race. It was the Slinger Super Speedway, Scott, but it was like an all-star race, the clash.
Yeah, it was these drivers clashed, so Tanner Carter got the win there, but it did not count for any sort of points. Just a morale boost heading into the season. I want to make a note of it. Parker Eatman, Jordan Black, they are part of Sour Monkey Motorsports. So it's Sour Monkey Motorsport 1 and 2 at the moment, as we've got some racing action in the back here around Travis Lapanis, Jason Woodham, and Landon Brown.
Yeah, top 5 right now as it stands is Parker Eatman, Jordan Black, Tanner Carter, Jim Hansen, Dylan Porter, and they are closing in on some backmarker cars up ahead. One car already a lap down. That is, of course, Thad Collins, multiple laps down, actually. And as my colleague Scott just mentioned, under attack now is some more cars, as we got about 10 laps remaining. When they come back to the line next time by, it will be the final 10 laps here of pace. Number 1 here in the, of course, 40 lap distance. Right now, it is going by rather quickly. 1 MHD design caution flag, and this Gear Up photography stage is flying by fast here.
Yeah, Jason Woodham falling to the back, looking here at Zach Franks. This is Mike Lemieux on the inside as he goes by out of turn number 4. Excellent job by Lemieux there. He's been riding in 7th for most of this race that we've seen so far, but moves around Zach Franks. But the gap next to Dylan Porter is now 1.6 seconds, so he's got a lot of ground to make up. I think he is going to be waiting for that caution flag for the stage break.
Yeah, time running out as they come back to the line. Look at that beautiful White River number 40 machine of Lemieux that you were just alluding to. Beautiful looking race car, as right now Jordan Black is losing ground on the 4 of Parker Eatman, but not much, maybe about a half a car length, maybe 3/4 of a second. Not a lot of gain there, but at least enough for Eatman to set sail and try to pull away and win this opening stage here at New Smyrna.
Yeah, when we checked on the gap back about 15 laps ago, it was around 0.3 of a second. So he's only dropped back by 0.2. So it has been very, very slowly the gap building between those two. The gap around the same for these top 5. And the caution is going to fly. MHD design caution flag.
And remember, this happened on lap 35. Jason Woodham with a problem in the 71 car in the back. And I got a feeling here, Scott Shive, per the rule book, this happened on lap 34, but they're on lap 35 now. This is probably going to be the Gear Up photography stage break of the race right here, and stage 1's complete.
I would have to agree with you. I think that is what they will eventually call this. Take a look back at our Eastern Technical Design replay, looking along here with Jason Woodham. He was running in the 14th position right before this incident happened. Remember, he'd gotten stuck on the outside here of Tracy Brown, but trying to fight back, gets loose on the bottom side, entering the corner, parks it down in the grass, unable to get it out of there before the cars could come back around. Caution was thrown by MHD Designs.
Big thanks again to Gear Up Photography. Of course, they have snap quality race day pictures at America's favorite bull ring. I know those guys very personally, good friends from Wake County Speedway. Follow at Gear Up Photography 1 on Instagram and send a message to schedule your track photos today. Again, that is good Gear Up Photography. This is, by the way, the Leadfoot Racing League, and it is presented by Eastern Technical Design as the official entitlement sponsor of the LFRL series. Again, they provide design and drafting services for commercial, residential, industrial construction. Services include architectural renderings, preliminary plan design, as well as final construction drawings. Drawings include the renderings, preliminary plan design, as well as construction drawings that include all necessary structural, building, plumbing, mechanical, and electrical plans as required to produce a finished building and or structure. This company is owned by LFRL owner and admin Tracy Brown. So Parker Eatman, winner of stage number 1. Caution is out. Pit road is open. Do you pit now, Scott?
I think you do. I mean, I don't see another time where we're going to get another rash of cautions. I don't know. This is a really tough point because you've got about 2/3 the race left. You're not at halfway. If I said if it was halfway, I'd say absolutely no doubt in my mind. But with it being at 40 laps, about 1/3 of the way into this race, it's a real hard call to make. Looking like a lot of them are passing up that moment to come down to pit lane. A lot of them choosing to stay out, keep the track position, because as we saw in that first stage, it was very difficult for a lot of these front runners to make passes.
Yeah, and honestly, we saw a one caution flag right at the start of things, and then we just saw another yellow flag around lap number 34, starting lap 35. So we are officially now into the second stage of the race as the gear up photography stage break will come to an end. The pace car is on pit road. Here comes the virtual thundering herd down to the line. Green flag back in the air as Eatman and Black almost side by side. Quickly, Eatman gets back the conga line single file as we work the green off two.
It's exactly like it did earlier on. This is Zach Franks trying to get it back on Lemieux. We saw them battling earlier before the stage break. Franks is going to get it back. More side-by-side action behind them. This is Landon Brown currently trying to work to the inside of Jeffrey Cummer.
Can you say second verse same as the first, and it's not Henry the eighth either? It is our buddy Parker Eatman doing a phenomenal job. Obviously the winner of the Thanksgiving Classic at Southern National back in November of 2024, runs on the ZMAX Cars Tour presented by Sound Gear, ran last night in Jacksonville along with teammate Laney Bice and the Jordan Black Racing Development number 14 right there after him for second. And look at that 00 as well. I mean, what a solid run right now going for Tanner Carter. He's just right now, Scott, lying in the weeds, but right in striking distance, playing possum, ready to pounce on somebody like a coiled cobra and go for a 2-for-1 special if Eatman and Black slip.
Well, there's a reason that the driver from Monroe, Georgia, there's a reason that he won the Clash race at Slinger. Driver that has some talent for sure, running third consistently here tonight. It's where he started. He's been running all night. And like you said, he is laying in wait for something to happen as the MHD design caution is going to fly on lap 45.
Jason Woodham is the most recent man for a caution, and what do you know? He'll go for 2 times being the cause of the caution as there's an issue now with the 71 machine.
I think it was
another
the
yellow flag.
I think it was the Brown brothers.
Yes,
they got into each other. So we're going to take a look back at this.
Tracy and Lenny Brown.
Yes, they got into each other down the back straightaway, entering turn number 3, and we'll take a moment to get our replay queued up for you. But the incident between brothers.
Coming down the back straightaway, let's see what happened in this. Watching Tracy Brown and Lenny Brown here.
They'll go around one more time. You'll see the 83 appear to the bottom here. It's a great run off of the turn here around the 17 of Michael Deitch. And then down to the bottom, he's just going to get into the back of his brother, Tracy. They'll both go for a spin. Oh, and a little bit of contact.
That's where Woodham got in the wall right there. That's what we call it for sure. So if you really want to be honest, it's a multi-car crash with Brown, and Woodham. It sounds like a law firm, but those were the 3 cars involved in the accident over there in that third turn to put us under another MHD Design Incorporated yellow flag. And also, as that happens, we are on lap number 47 of 125. We've got some other partners we want to say thank you to. That includes W Energy, not only the white flag sponsor of the LFRL Racing League, but also the race here tonight at New Smyrna. W Energy provides high-quality energy drinks with a blend of natural ingredients, ensuring a clean and effective energy boost without the crash or jitters. W Energy is committed to helping individuals stay energized and perform at their best level. Use the promo code LFRL at checkout for 10% off your order every time. Again, use the promo code LFRL. A portion of all proceeds also goes back to the Leadfoot Racing League Late Model Tour. But I'll tell you what, after the crazy week I had this week announcing, Scott, I wish I had a case full of W Energy, man.
Oh, me too. I can absolutely agree with you. You and I were talking about it in the pre-race. I've been doing a lot here recently, and I've got school going on with university as well. A lot of midterms coming up for me this week, so I think I'm also going to need a case of W Energy.
And talk on the docket next week or beginning tomorrow. Soccer for women. 2 lacrosse games, basketball playoffs continue, March Madness is around the corner, softball game, 5, 6 iRacing broadcasts, and then announcing real races next week at Wake County, County Line, and Caraway.
Hey,
We're back underway. I'll literally be from Caraway Speedway next Sunday night. I hope I can make it in time for the LFRL series. We're back to green.
You'll be good. I know you'll be here with us, and if not, we'll always have you. I know you'll join so far. Here, the first challenge for Parker Eatman. Jordan Black playing the crossover, moves down to the inside. The challenge for the lead, the first time tonight.
Battle for the lead. Jordan Black looking high, looking low, trying to find a way around the 4, and nothing's working. Well, that goes on. Here comes the 32 to the inside for 5th. That's Porter going after Hansen in 1.
Porter trying to move up farther in the top 5 the first time. A little bit of contact between him and Hansen. Porter is going to get it, moves into the top 4 for the first time. A big shove from Zach Franks.
Shoved him up the heel. It ain't a bump and run. It's to get the hell out of my way. Zach Franks to the inside. What a move.
They're getting aggressive here, Wesley. Getting aggressive, knowing this race is coming to near halfway. Trying to move up and get this track position that is crucial. Big move, big pickle by Jeffrey Cummer. That's going to give the position back to Tim Hansen. But Hansen falls 2 spots.
And all of this going on now as they work their way back to the corner, working to the halfway mark, as my colleague Scott just mentioned. By the way, we look at Eatman, we look at Black, we look at Carter. They're right there with one another as they go back into the corner. Are these the guys who win the race? Are these going to be the ones that are going to be battling it out on the other side of the second half of this W Energy 125, you think, Scott?
I would say absolutely. You will see these 3 battle it out all night long here. I think a lot of them, unless they get a for sure shot to go to the inside of one or the other, you will see them here stay in a line of 3. These are 3 drivers that are very clean, will race well, and they will only take a shot if they absolutely have to. Only near the end of the race might they take a risky shot as the battle continues between Lemure and Jeffrey Cummer, as well as Hansen, Tim Hansen there in the 38. Hansen will retain and gets back 5th from Franks, opens the door for Jeffrey Cummer on the inside.
Keep an eye on that. Let's give you your top 10 as we are closing in on the halfway mark on lap number 58. It's Parker Eatman from flag to flag of the drop of the green, leading the W Energy 125 near the cross flags of the race. Jordan Black in 2nd, Tanner Carter 3rd, Dylan Porter and Tim Hansen. Scott, right now your top 5.
Top 5 then, it's Jeffrey Cummer, then Mike Lemieux. Zach Frank's going to fall a few more positions. He slaps the outside wall out of turn number 2. So Frank's day is turning from great to bad here as he continues to get caught on the outside of other drivers, finds a way to get down to the bottom. Is that number 1 machine? He'll solidify himself into 8th.
And that great part, Andrew Porter now trying to make the move on the bullseye part of the pun after the Canadian Travis Lepanis. All this going on is Lepanis had himself a top 3 podium last week at Lanier. And a little controversial, Scott. Drivers were a little mad at him. But you got to do what you got to do to get those podium spots. And obviously, the higher you finish, it is worth better points as well.
Well, right, as we see, as these races come to an end, as this time we come around, we'll see the halfway point in this W Energy 125. But here you'll see, as this race continues to go along, you will see drivers get a little bit more aggressive. Obviously here, Parker Eatman, Jordan Black, teammates. But as they get into the waning half of this race, and especially closer to the end, you will see them fight a little bit more aggressively with each other.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Hit that like and subscribe, by the way. It's not hard at all, right? It doesn't take any energy. You don't need to drink a W Energy, right? Just have one for later, but just hit that little thumbnail and subscribe to Elevated TV. And by the way, if you want all the latest news and updates from eNASCAR, then sign up today. Click on the QR code. The official simulation partner of NASCAR is iRacing. And for all elevated TV broadcast-related content, make sure to hit the QR scan code now and join our official Discord for race information and access to interviews for in-house productions. And what we mean by interviews, you might talk to Scott. You might talk to me. We might not be, we are in the box, you know. The drivers are in the box, so if you're lucky, you hit the Discord and you jump in the channel, you might be able to get an interview with a driver or something like that. Nonetheless, we're in the second half of the race. He is Scott Shive. I am Wesley Outland. We welcome you along with Cody Deemers on production to the Leadfoot Racing League W Energy 125. It is round number 2 of the series. Cody, I don't know if I told you, take the off of my Twitter handle. I am not the Wesley Outland. We've been over this. It's at Wesley Outland on X, and if you want to follow me. So nonetheless, though, Scott, we have seen a great race so far, man, and it has been all the Parker Eatman show here tonight. Oh, trouble! 11, Seth Cole around to the back straightaway, and another MHD design caution coming out.
I was just about to say, right as you were about to send it over, we had an incident. Saw Seth Cole earlier. He started up in 5th, but he fell back all the way to 17th. He was able to work his way around Jason Woodham as he went a lap down, but here he has started a little bit. He kind of got involved in this incident, didn't start it, but his day has gone from when he started in 5th, it was great, and it was bad, and now it's gone to worse.
Another yellow flag. Here's a look at a replay. There's Seth Cole. That orange number 11. Oh, my goodness. The bullseye man actually went around first. And that's that 15 machine of Chandler Joyner. And we welcome you back live after the replay. And Scott Shive, it is like a flurry of activity. Everybody's on pit road pitting right now.
It seriously is. We pass that halfway break as we continue to watch here what happened to Chandler Joyner. You see Lenny Brown gets into the back of him after a little bit of contact with the 16 in front of him. And we'll take that around next lap by, but that's what happened with the drivers of Chandler Joyner, Lenny Brown, and Seth Cole also getting involved, which put us under our MHD Inc. caution. So a lot of drivers hitting pit road for the first time tonight. The only driver that didn't hit pit road this time was Travis Lepanis, and you want to know why? It's because he came in earlier at our halfway stage break. He's going to lead us to green for the first time.
And there was one driver that was the lone wolf that had not pitted yet. It was Jason Woodham. That is now hashtag fake news as he comes down to the pit lane right now. He now joins every single car that is pitted at least one time. The most man that's pitted so far with 3 is Max Cost with Triple B Racing 3 times. He's right now in 13th spot.
Yeah, Max Cost, you know, I actually have a little bit of a stat about him. I actually race with him on Thursdays in my league, and me and him were battling a lot on Thursday at Legacy Atlanta. It was fun to be with him, not having the night he would want to so far. Started all the way in the back, but he's moved it up to 5th. Or excuse me, sorry, he's up 5 spots. He's up to 13th, looking for a top 10 tonight. So those 3 pit stops not affecting him too much here.
Going to bring us back into the broadcast booth real quickly. We are in the second half of this race here in the W Energy 125 as we're actually getting ready to go back to a green flag. But I got to ask you real quickly, what's your take of this race so far as we get ready for a restart, Scott?
Look, I thought we've had excellent action. We've seen these guys up front like Parker Eatman, Jordan Black, and the 00 have been so fast, as well as others behind them like Zach Franks and some of our others like Tanner Carter, Dylan Porter as well. And I think we've seen excellent action as well in the mid-pack. I'm really excited for this restart as we're going to have some different runners up on the front row.
And we're not done yet. Green flag back in the air as the field comes back to the restart zone with 51 laps to go now. Heading to the home stretch of this race now, Scott, and I got a feeling business is about to pick up.
Oh, absolutely. These drivers will be getting more aggressive here, especially those that have been leading. Big move from the 00 of Tanner Carter to get to the bottom there, trying to move back up. Remember, he was running 3rd before we pitted. He is back right now in 7th, trying to move to the inside of Landon Brown and work his way back up to the drivers of Parker Eatman and Jordan Black, just a few spots ahead.
He bobbed, he weaved, he looked for the inside, went after Carter. Then he set his sights on the 91 at Tracy Brown, and we have another MHD design caution out over the racetrack.
Yeah,
Mike Lemieux and Lenny Brown have got together, it looks like, Scott.
Yes, they have. You'll see it on our replay, but it looks like Mike Lemieux was on the outside wall of the front stretch, and as we know, one of the characteristics of this track at New Smyrna is that outside retaining wall on the front stretch goes from wider to shorter. It's actually not perfectly straight. And you'll see that Mike Lemieux will be on the outside here. He gets squeezed into the wall by Lenny Brown. Nowhere else to go. Wow. Lenny Brown tries to come up the track to set up the entry at turn 1. And Mike Lemieux on the wall, nowhere to go.
And Lenny Brown, an orange and white machine, hard into the concrete down into turn 1. And now Lemieux and Brown will bring their cars badly damaged, banged up onto pit lane. Now remember, unless they've used a fast repair, they do have a mulligan, if you will, Scott, and that is you could hit that reset, start over again, and try one more time.
Yeah, Lenny Brown, I think he has used his fast repair this time for the first time, so he will have a mulligan, a reset, as well as Mike Lemieux. So both of them using their restart this time. It actually doesn't look like Lemieux used him. He's still got a lot of that right front damage, so might be saving it for if there's some later race incidents.
Yellow flag back, I'm sorry, getting tongue-tied. Yellow flag back out over the racetrack of the W Energy 125. We'll thank some more sponsors here, and we want to send a big thanks out to LFRL Racing News and give you some updates as driver Landon Brown has signed with Iracing Xfinity deal with Nolan Crowley Motorsports. That happened yesterday, so a big congratulations to Landon Brown. Triple B Racing announces a deal with Chandler Joyner, bringing him on board for season number 2 of the LFRL Model Stock Tour that you're watching on Elevated TV. He'll be driving that number 15 Chevrolet, sponsored by Eastern Technical Design and Bullseye Pest Control.
I think we're going to get to talk to Nolan Crowley about that deal that he signed with Landon Brown. So I think we're going to get to talk to them after we interview our top 3 from tonight. The question is, who will that top 3 be, Wesley? Because right now, Lapenas looked pretty good out front, as well as Tim Hansen. He was proving himself strong out there. Let's not forget, Tim Hansen was running in 4th before we had the pit stops earlier on from our MHD Designs caution. So Tim Hansen has looked good as well. Another question is, can they hold off drivers of Jordan Black and Parker Eatman? Because we know they are fast and strong.
And don't forget, the next big Elevated TV iRacing special will be the annual Easter Bunny 150. I've announced that event for many, many years, and it is now actually twin 150s, right? They run 150 lap races on one night, and then the following night, that's on March 21st, 22nd. Make sure you make your plans to join them on Elevated TV as we're back to green. The Canadian, Canada! Lapenas in front. He's looking to try to get a big win here tonight. He leads them as we work lap number 82 this time by.
You saw he caught, the 4 of Parker Eatman caught Tim Hansen sleeping on that restart. Eatman able to get to the inside, work his way around the bottom. So Eatman back up into second. That has opened the door as well for teammate Jordan Black to be on the bottom of that 38 of Tim Hansen. But Hansen able to use the momentum of the outside line to get back into 3rd.
Look at Eatman now on the opposite spectrum. He led, now he had and defended. Now he has to try to be on the offense to try to run down his opposition. And he gets a run on the inside, and they goes up the hill, and we have another caution flag.
Man, I know Eatman is a little upset that we had this caution. You saw there, Travis Lapenas dipped onto the apron, and he had a bit of an opening. Parker Eatman had a run there, but as the caution came out, it'll still be Travis Lapenas reading. It is Mike Lemieux involved in this caution yet again, and it's a good thing he saved his fast repair, because let's take a look at what happened between him and the 15 of Chandler Joyner. Find this caution between them, just some contact, it looks like, down in turn number 1. You'll see it right there. 15 advances quickly.
Oh, wow.
Sooner, and Seth Cole gets involved as well.
Sure did, man. The 11 had the rear end of the car airborne there after that contact between Lemieux and Chandler Joyner. I feel like I jinxed him, man. It's an announcer jinx, right, Scott? I mean, I was talking about Chandler Joyner and talking about a new opportunity with a pest control bullseye ride. And next thing you know, we go back to green, and dang, he's caught up in an accident. So the announcer jinx, I guess, is on me tonight. So, all right, we're ready to go back for a restart in just a moment as we are working lap 86. 86 of 125 of the W Energy 125. Scott, do you feel like we've seen a change into the guard? We're seeing now with Travis Lapanis up in front. Eatman's now on the defense to try to now on the offense, if you will, trying to get back around him. And the 16, has he been holding out here?
He's been holding out so far, but I don't know how long he will, because we saw Eatman was able to move very quickly to the back bumper of the 16. He was working on setting up a move right as we had the MHD designed caution flag fly. So I think you're going to see Parker Eatman, like you said, flip the switch from earlier using his defensive brain. Now he's going to be in the offensive mindset, trying to work his way around the 16. And I think he's going to be a driver that's going to be able to get it done. But I will say, I think Travis Lapanis is definitely going to put up a good fight because, like you said, last week at Lanier, very aggressive.
Certainly is. And by the way, we were mentioning earlier that we were going to talk about the track dimensions. I said that I would mention that before we got started, and obviously we got caught up in the moment of everything going on. But this is a half-mile racetrack here, obviously, at the new Smyrna Speedway, right? The width of this facility is 60 feet. The straightaway 70 feet in the turns. So 60 feet wide in the straightaway, 70 feet in the turns. You got an extra 10 feet to use, Scott, and I got a feeling they're going to take advantage of it, no doubt. 600-foot straightaways from the front and the back. Of course, the banking is 23 degrees. I kind of mentioned it earlier. It doesn't look like it, but it's 23 degrees of banking, Scott, inside the corners here at New Smyrna.
Yeah, there's a lot. You can use a lot of speed through those corners as the green flag will fly again. Travis Lapanis going to get it. Eatman looking to the outside, trying to work to the inside this time by.
I don't know if there's a way that we could go on like what is it, like a gyro cam or gyro cam, where we can go on board.
There we go.
And watch this here. So it's flattened out. Wow, as the leaders bump one another and you're watching it on board.
Watching it on board with Tim Hansen. The leaders go to battle. Parker Eatman got a great run to the inside. It's still peeking the nose. A little bit of more contact entering turn number 3 between Lapanis and Eatman, and more contact exiting. Wow! Beat down the doors on the back front straightaway.
You're watching it as right now we're seeing them going at it here. Unbelievable. More contact. Side by side. Leaning on one another. Stride for stride, all four. The Canadian Lapanis jumps up the hill. He now throws the block, and Eatman goes to the inside and back to the lead. And now we're 3 wide second and contact.
Oh my goodness, the MHD designed caution is going to fly. Oh my goodness, Tracy Brown to give a big hit to the inside wall there just before the caution flew. And you saw it unfold, Wesley, there. 3 wide on the exit of turn number 2 was not going to work.
I had a feeling, Scott, that we turned up the wick on that last restart, and the pressure has now just absolutely went into overdrive here now. And what a tough break for a guy in the 91 in brown, right? Innocent bystanders. Look at this action, though. I mean, we were all entertained here. Look at them bumping, banging, slamming, gouging. 3 wide and ran out of room. Black got into the 16. He didn't mean to. You can't go 3 wide at this place.
Yeah, didn't mean to step on your toes there. You saw just so much unfolding. You saw a run by Tim Hansen and Jordan Black down on the bottom. We'll take another look back at it. Eatman and Lapanis absolutely going at it for this lead. Able to do that because the outside line, you get that momentum down the straightaways like we talked about. Lapanis able to pull even, still a door slap by Eatman, and you can see it down the front straightaway this time by. This is when the incident will happen. Eatman got a great run. He'll get a great dive down to the corner. Then Lapanis tries to set something up on the top side. Meanwhile, Hansen and Black get a great run. They make contact. That moves Black up into Lapanis. And then Tracy Brown here got in the grass, came back on track. There was Lapanis, and that sent him into the inside wall.
And there it is, another caution, another MHD Design Incorporated caution out. And all that work now gone for the Canadian. I was about to say, not a yes, sir. That's a no, sir moment of the race, but I think it is going to be our yes, sir / no, sir moment of the race. But you know what? Here, I'm going to reverse it. I'm going to debate this, Scott Shive. The yes, sir moment was the bumping, the banging, the action between the front row between Lapenas and Eatman. The oh, no, sir moment was when they tried to stick it 3 wide, and you can't do that. Can't do that.
I have to agree with you there. The battle between the two was excellent. They were putting on a show for us up at the front, but it ends in calamity for that 16 of Travis Lapenas. He was running a great strategy. I think that possibly could have seen him have a solid top 5 at the end of the day, but it's going to send him all the way to the back, and he's going to start from 15th when we get the green flag next time.
I think we're back under. Here we go. Here's our yes, sir moment of the race. Okay, so we agree. There we go. Yes. Look at this action. Are you not virtually entertained at what we were watching? It was so exciting. And then the oh no! Oh boy. So we need to have an oh yes, sir, and the oh no, sir. And we're back to green, ready to settle it here. And we're going to go 3 wide again? Are you serious?
3 wide for second. Tim Hansen and Jordan Black involved again. Tanner Carter had gotten a great run. Jordan Black looks to the inside. Carter not going to leave the door open. It's going to get a great run down the front straightaway. So Carter has put himself in front of Jordan Black, but can Carter hunt down Eatman?
The 0-0 now, trying to run down Eatman, ready to see what he will do. It is Tanner Carter going after Eatman. Behind them, Black. And there you see everyone else right there in tow. Now we're door to door behind the top 7. And Woodham under attack now as they are going hard, scrambling for every spot they can as they almost go 3 wide again. Roll to the bottom of the apron, and he saved it. No, he did not. He got a punt from the 15, and it sends him around in 4.
Seth Cole had that saved. He had it saved, but last moment into 3 gets a tap from Chandler Joyner. But, man, it was almost such an impressive save. Talk about the day for Seth Cole. I mean, nothing has gone his way today except for his qualifying effort. We'll take a look back here at what put us under our MHD design caution. Oh, it was hefty, heated battles here. Chandler Joyner gets the inside, going to press the issue, swipes across the nose of Seth Cole. And then here, when Seth Cole tries to save it, he slides back up on the racetrack, and Joyner was down there on the bottom. I've got to question that heavy press from Chandler Joyner, because at that moment, it looked like he was fighting for position. He was actually 2 laps down, Wesley.
Seth Cole's car, again, damaged. What has this been, Scott? The 3rd or 4th time we've seen him on the pit lane or involved in an MHD design caution. So, but look who's back in front again. If you want to bring us back into the broadcast booth, I think we're ready to see, and I think our iRacing audience is ready to see, Scott Shive, an entertaining finish coming up, even ready to oversell the billing of what we saw last Sunday night at Lanier. New Smyrna is just a track that offers this type of excitement. Would you agree?
I would absolutely have to agree. I think we've seen it right in front of our eyes. We get the green flag. It'll be under 20 laps to go. Tanner Carter, obviously, he has won in the class, but it was a non-points race, looking for his first win in the regular season. Parker Eatman also looking for that first win, at least this season, but a driver that we know, again, we're going to talk about all season long, has extreme talent.
20 laps to go when we come back for the restart for the W Energy 125. We've seen exciting virtual energy, pardon the pun, Dubby. Do you think we're really going to watch a shootout take place here? And will somebody else end up in victory lane besides Parker Eatman?
It's definitely possible. As you and I know, these drivers continue to get aggressive as we come down towards the end. Bumper play will probably and most likely be the call for some of these drivers because again, Parker Eatman is not going to move out of the way willingly. Neither would Carter or Jordan Black.
We'll set it up for you. Top 5. Parker Eatman, Tanner Carter, front row. Row 2, Jordan Black, Tim Hansen, Jeffrey Comer, followed by Dylan Porter, Zach Frank, Landon Brown, Jason Woodham, and Lenny Brown. Your top 10, under 20 to go. Here at New Smyrna, we're back underway, and I think it's about to get good in the neighborhood, and I don't mean at your local Applebee's. Watch this. Black on the inside. He's going after Eatman for the lead in 3 there, Scott.
Tanner Carter gets into Eatman in turn number 1. That moves up Eatman on the entry to turn 1, opens the door for Jordan Black. But as we look in the back, there's going to involve some calamity. Chandler Joyner going to be involved again with the 36 of Max Cost. Max Cost upset, going to park it on the hood of Chandler Joyner.
Jaw-dropping moment for me in the broadcast booth. No way about it. That was a retaliation right there, Scott Shive. Holy moly.
We'll have to see how post-race control will handle that issue between Chandler Joyner and Max Cost. You can see Cost extremely upset at that incident. Second time that Chandler Joyner has been working his way from the back and has gotten into drivers that were on the lead lap.
Chandler right there in the car. Man, it looks to me like Cost kind of stalled or he checked up or something, and the 15 had no choice but Scott to get into the back of the car.
Yeah, I'm taking a look at it here, and it looks like, it looks like to me that the 36 Max Cost was checking up heavily as the cars in front of him. It's what you were reacting to when we were talking about the leaders. And Max Cost has a huge checkup. Joyner not expecting it, so I could understand possibly Max Cost's frustration. But when you're checking up as heavily as he did, I don't think that calls for a retaliation as such as he did.
And obviously, Scott, they just announced that he was a part of a new team. Yesterday? Chandler Joyner going to be running on board with the 15 and the sponsor, but. I don't know, man. I think that probably the powers that be at Leadfoot Racing League, they're going to have to reprimand or take away points or a race suspension to Cost to what he did to Chandler. I don't see what Chandler did was being intentional. And Cost, come on, man. You can't do things like that. Here's something to think about. The way he drove up on that car. I mean, I know it's virtual, right? Scott, but he could have really damaged the race car. He could have really took out the 15 just then, and even in doing so himself. They might have just parked him.
Oh, absolutely. They would have no doubt. I mean, he left the session. He's out. Left on his own accord. But again, that's one of those things, a lot of leagues that do this, and I applaud them for it. We want to put on races here that would like you would if you go and watch the Cars Tour, you go and watch the ASA Stars race. That's what these leagues want to represent, what they want to put on, the shows they want to put on. When you do stuff like that, green flag back out.
That was maybe another oh no moment of the race for sure. Back to green with under 15 remaining. And look at Parker Eatman and cautions breed cautions. New Smyrna strikes again for the drivers of Zach Franks and Travis Lepanis. They're in the fence, and the caution out again, presented by MHD Design Incorporated. Boy, you're getting a lot of PR love tonight at New Smyrna.
Yeah, I was just going to say, right as we went under green, back under caution for these drivers. And we'll take a look back at our incident to what happened here. I think some of these guys look along here with Travis Lepanis. At 00 of Carter, he was in the back for some reason. I imagine that had to have started from earlier when we saw that between Joyner and Cost. But then there's a lot to break down right here. So Carter gets into the one of Zach Franks. That sends them up high, and then other drivers checking up puts them 2 and 3 wide.
There's cars scattering everywhere. Take your pick. Look at this. I was 5 wide in that corner, caught up in the accident, even sideways there.
Yeah, there's so much going on there. You know what I'm interested in? I'm looking at how Max. This is how it is. the 00 of Tanner Carter, that's how he got put back to where he was. It was the earlier caution with Max Koss and Joyner. That's what started the checkup that Max Koss was checking up for originally. That's what put the 00 back there. He was trying to work back forward, gets into the one of Zach Franks, and then Travis Lepanus and others get involved.
Hey, by the way, there is a fun week ahead on Elevated TV as we are closing into the home stretch. What's coming up next? Well, we got it for you tomorrow. The FWM Whelen Modified Tour Championship race. Scott Shive and Emmett Crow will be on the call for that one with Cody. Tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern. Then we got the JE Challenge Series from Lernerville. That's dirt. If you don't know, I've announced at Lernerville Speedway, it is dirt in Sarver, Pennsylvania. We've got that for you. Regal Production Esports Daytona 250 from Daytona on Wednesday night, and I'll be here for this one. The FWM late model stocks, they're going to be at Sobo Thursday night from Sobo. That'll be a good one. All on Elevated TV. Make sure you check it out. As we go back to green, we got to decide a race here at New Smyrna here, Scott.
Under 10 laps left to go. The battle continues on between the Sour Monkey Motorsport teammates. Jordan Black looking to make a move on Parker Eatman, going to lay in wait for now, but we're under 10 laps to go. We cross the stripe this time, 7 laps. When will Jordan Black decide to make the move? More calamity near the back. Landon Brown trying to work to the inside of Carter. Carter gets the wall.
7, make it 6 to go at the line. Hold on to it. Don't overreach. Look at a big burst now from that number 5 machine trying to get back into the top 5, and he will. That's Landon Brown alongside Carter. This goes on in 3 with 5 to go now.
Landon Brown out of Bailey, North Carolina, trying to work continually into the top 5, and he will, but Carter still putting up a great fight on the outside. So this battle is currently for that last spot in the top 5. Carter trying to regain position from when he fell out of it earlier.
4 laps to go if you're doing the math. That's 2 miles left for this half mile here at New Smyrna. And ironically, in the 4 car, leading the way, it is Parker Eatman. He's looking now for his first win of season 2. Behind him, though, Jordan Black going after him. Winner last week. Can he hold on to make it 2 in a row? He's got to get around the 4. We'll see what happens as they come back to 1.
Looking for that back-to-back win. I don't know if it's going to happen right now. Black is just under 0.3 of a second back. Parker Eatman looks very, very strong out front. I think it's going to take a mistake as we come to 2 to go.
An ultimate lap of the race right now. It is 8 minutes. We got a caution. Yellow flag is out. This will set up overtime. Yellow flag is out on the racetrack. A multi-car accident. Michael Deach is one of them. And another caution coming out here. Wow.
Yeah, looking at it right now, 17 of Michael Deach is going to get down on the apron, tries to come back up the track, gets into the 83 of Lenny Brown. That spins him around, puts him flat out in the grass on the front stretch. Caution waves.
Unbelievable. Here's a look at it again. The side contact from the 83 car. The 83 machine, that of course is the driver of Lenny Brown, as got reiterated on. And we are now going to LFRL late month for overtime. It is overtime coming up. So, boy, oh boy. Deach, is it Deitch?
I think it's Deach.
Yeah, I said
I
Deach.
want to say Deach.
I thought we said Deach. Maybe we didn't.
Oh, we did.
I thought we did.
One of us must have messed up. It was probably me. Michael Deach there in the number 17 being your main involver in the caution, and this is going to send us to our one chance at green-white checkered opportunity, Wesley.
Yeah, caution coming out again for the driver of Michael Deach, the Kalhoff Deach Racing entry, number 17. All right.
Not making the show tonight.
It's overtime now. You got one shot at this, and then the gloves are off. The gloves are off, I think, Scott. You got one shot, one opportunity to make a run, make a move, and you got to go for it here. Do you do the bump and run? Do you move the 14?
You do, as long as you can keep him from falling back too far or spinning him around. Again, Sour Monkey Motorsport teammates Parker Eatman and Jordan Black, you don't want to compromise your team to have a worse day. And so, but obviously Jordan Black wants to go back to back. So I wouldn't put it too far from him to have that in his back pocket here as we go for the only green white checkered opportunity.
Oh, I think it's not DH. I think it's Diet, right? Because he said it's German. Oh, it's not Deech, it's Diet.
There we go.
Diet. Anyhow, back to green, and it's overtime. One shot, that's all you got. Green flag, Black, Eatman, worked into the corner, back straight away. There's bouncing off one another, Carter's going around. He's bicycling in turn 3. Austin out, they're still crashing, and it's going to be Parker Eatman to win here. One attempt at overtime, and that's it. White flag's in the air now.
White flag going to be in the air, presented by Dubby Energy, and it'll be ended under caution.
Wow.
And it's going to go to Parker Eatman. And I think he was so strong all day long. You saw just got a great restart right there. Jordan Black was not able to even get near the bumper. And then down the back straight, we saw calamity between some of those top two. Tanner Carter had worked himself from the back all the way back to the top 5, but he's going to end this race right outside of it in 11th.
Checkered flag is out, and it is Parker Eatman winning the Dubby Energy 125 here at New Smyrna Speedway. It will be now the second different winner of the season as he'll join as he'll join Jordan Black, who won last Sunday night at Lanier as the Southern Bank Big Rock entry celebrates kind of a top 15 in his real car last night at Jacksonville. And now the iRacing vehicle will finish in victory lane and obviously make a closer quest towards a championship on the LFRL Late Model Tour here, Scott.
He looked so great all night, led the most laps. Only one next close to him was Travis Lepanis. Parker Eatman sending it for the Polish victory lap here at New Smyrna Speedway. He'll come back to park it in victory lane, but not after doing some more celebratory donuts. But Parker Eatman gave us a show here tonight, and he definitely did not just do it with ease. He faced some adversity, and he came out on top.
By the way, the Dubby Energy 1 to Go was also the sponsor of this race. And again, it's presented by Dubby Energy, providing high-quality energy drinks with a blend of natural ingredients, ensuring clean and effective energy boost without the crash or jitters. Dubby Energy is committed for helping individuals stay energized and perform at their best level. Use the promo code in checkout, LFRL, for 10% off of your order every time. A portion of that also goes back to the LFRL Late Model Tour. Hey, listen, Scott, Cody, and myself are going to get a little Dubby Energy. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, because we haven't took any sponsors since we came on the air, we will grab the podium drivers here tonight as, again, Parker Eatman wins at New Smyrna. Stay with us. Back here on Elevated Race Day coverage on this Sunday evening, first Sunday of March 2025, and round number 2 of season 2 of the Leadfoot Racing League Late Model Tour is in the books, along with Scott Shive. I am Wesley Outland, Cody Deemers on production, and this man got a top 15 last night at New River All-American in Jacksonville, but the Z-Max Cars Tour. He wins tonight, becomes the second different winner, along with Jordan Black, who won last week at Lanier. It is Parker Eatman. Parker, congratulations. What a strong run. Scott and myself were talking about New Smyrna being a racer's track. Would you agree with that? And what did it take to hold off there, Black, several times coming at you on many levels to win this race, sir?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I would have to agree with that statement. I mean, you can't really translate it from the late model stock to, like, obviously the pros and supers run down there, but I mean, it was a good race overall. Just, played our strategy right. Me and Jordan decided to pit around lap 65 or 70, and pretty much the cautions fell late in the race, and we still had tire left there at the end, so just got to drive away. I didn't want to see that last green white checker, but got it done in the end.
Parker, talk to me about, you led from the beginning, but then we have the caution pass midway. Everyone comes into pit. Travis Lapenas stays out. For the first half, you're defending against your teammate Jordan Black as well as near the end, but you had to find a way around Travis Lapenas. Talk to me about the difference between the defensive mindset and the offensive mindset.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot different when you're out front, obviously. I mean, I was trying to get around him as clean as I could. It's pretty hard to pass there, to be honest with you, because the top's got some grip up there, so you can definitely run the second groove and still make up time, especially with somebody on on the inside that you're having to pinch. So yeah, I tried to get around him pretty clean, but overall I feel like I had better tires than him there when I got around him, so that kind of helped me.
Hey, Parker, what's it mean, buddy? We could have you thank your sponsors as well to obviously get a quick win here on the series and get a really good point stay, kind of like last week. And it looks like it's going to be kind of like a Eatman Black battle here for just season 2, race 2 of the season. But it looks like you guys are kind of the Pied Pipers of the deal so far.
Yeah, that's what I hope for all season. I mean, I kind of got the monkey off our back there with that win, or should I say sour monkey off our back. But yeah, it's good to get a win. I just want to thank all my sponsors: Southern Bank, Southern Ready Mix, Southern Stone, Quality Used Cars. Just everybody involved in this deal, everybody that makes everything happen. There's some people not happy with my moves last week at Lanier, and they wanted to talk about it, so it just gave me a little extra motivation to win here tonight.
Parker Eatman picking up his, of course, first win on season 2, joins Jordan Black. Hey, I got to ask you a question. This question was asked last week, and I said I was going to try to find out. And, I had announced it at Wake County Speedway before I got to Jacksonville for the Cars Tour, so I was only able to see you quickly through the pits real fast, Parker. But I was going to ask you, Harold Eatman, ain't he your grandfather? Ain't he the guy that's got Eatman Racing Engines in Wilson?
So I get that question a lot. We're actually not related, but he did. I know he's an engine builder, but he did.
Okay.
He was friends with my dad for like a good period. But yeah, but we're not related at all.
Wow. So Harold Eatman is not related to Parker Eatman. There you go. Well, anyhow, Parker Eatman, you did a phenomenal job. Enjoy the rest of your week. After a long day in the night last night in Jacksonville, we know that. And then today, I'm sure you rested, and then you get a big win here tonight. So we'll see you next week, obviously, buddy. Congratulations.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all, guys.
Parker Eatman, ladies and gentlemen, biggest accolade 2024 NASCAR Thanksgiving Classic winner at Southern National, runs on the Cars Tour, and he picked up a win here tonight of the W Energy 125. Let's go down to the runner-up of the race. It is Jordan Black. The JBRD entry will settle for a runner-up spot. Winner last week at Lanier. Are you happy with that, Jordan? It's consistent, right?
Yeah, all things considered, I'm definitely happy. Parker and I are teammates, so I was definitely happy to get a 1-2. I feel like with the car count we had and kind of the way the track races, it was probably the best we could hope for, really. It's Parker mentioned it; it's super tough to pass, so didn't want to risk, getting underneath him and really trying to use him up because that was the only way I was going to get around him. So, unless he made a major mistake, it was just kind of going to be nose to tail, I guess. But he made absolutely no mistakes. He did a really good job saving his tires tonight. He had some at the end, so he was definitely quick. And it's an interesting track. There's a lot of ways to make speed. So he was kind of rolling the center a little bit quicker than I was, and I was trying to focus on my exits. And it was fun to see two different styles kind of come into play there. But I was just happy we were able to make it back through traffic after we pitted because we had a couple that took two, one that stayed out. So that was definitely a question mark, with like 40 to go.
Jordan, I was talking to Wesley about this. You're one of the drivers. You're the driver, the oldest driver that I remember in terms of when my broadcaster career started a year and a half ago that I got to call. I actually got to watch you in the days of the Monday Night Racing League. And actually, we've gotten to race each other a good bit in the officials. Obviously, you've been a few spots in front of me. But tonight, we talk about New Smyrna here. I noticed that you got some front end damage at some point throughout this race. Was that at all a factor when trying to get up to the back of Parker Eatman and make a pass?
I definitely felt like I had a little bit less after that. It wasn't really enough to, I feel like, play a major role. I definitely felt like I was securely the second quickest car in the field, but in terms of being able to challenge him, like before I had the damage, it was going to be tough regardless. So it definitely didn't help by any measure. And that's just a product of trying to get back through the field. Had moments where I had to take it three wide. I was three wide middle twice, and had contact both times. I'm pretty sure the contact came from the one exit of two. So I didn't let it affect me too much in terms of my thought process and the mentality behind it. But at the end of the day, like I said, Parker was really strong before I even had that damage. So I feel like it didn't affect the end result too much.
Well, Jordan, we'll see you next week, obviously, for round number 3. Before we let you go, obviously, thank those sponsors on that number 14 machine.
Yeah, JBRD, Laney Bice Racing, Parker Eatman Racing. Like I said last week, everybody that I work with in real life and have the opportunity to driver coach. Just a blessing to be able to like I said, have a part in these people's lives and help them develop. But looking forward to the next one, looking forward to the next race in real life as well, and probably see you guys there somehow.
Laney had a pretty good night last night, obviously, in that 0-3 car. Kind of, for the most part, kept it out of trouble. There was a lot of calamity last night, wasn't there? Right?
There
At
was
Jacksonville?
a lot. Yeah, we started 12th and lap 5 came around and we spun off. I think it was the 47's nose into turn 3. It's just difficult because it's really a 2-lane racetrack. And when everybody gets to riding like
Right.
that, you kind of get boxed in. Like you don't have anywhere to go. So you don't want to stay on the top too long. So we were really fighting to get down to the bottom and just kind of product of a stack up and got turned. But, had to come from, I think, 28th or 27th after that point. So she did a really good job resetting. Getting a top 10 at the end right there. We had a really good piece. Lee Pulliam brought us a great car, as always. That's what he's known for. So had a great car, and we're looking forward to Wake and hopefully have a little bit more, I guess, a less interesting race, so to say, and be able to execute a bit better. And I think you'll see us in the top 5.
On a quarter-mile bull ring, do you think those words are true?
See, I'm hoping we'll qualify top 5 or so and be able to be all
Oh,
behind, or I'm sorry, in front of, all the mess. But that was kind of
yeah.
the hornet's nest, I guess. Last night was like
Yes.
8th to 20th range was just deadly. I mean, Parker got a good look at all of it too. He missed about every
He
wreck there
sure
was.
did.
So
He sure did. And obviously, a couple of years ago, I had the privilege to meet I call her Georgia's fastest peach. That's what the nickname I gave her, Laney Bice, because I know she's from Georgia. And she is a talent. She can drive a car. I've seen her run, of course, at Florence and Dillon and the races that she's competed on at Hickory. So for sure, you've got a wheel woman right there, a wheel woman, like wheel man statement. So it's going to be fun to see what she does this year. Jordan, thanks for your time, buddy. We'll see you next week.
Yeah. Thank you, guys.
And finally, third place man, when it's all said and done, is the driver of Jeffrey Comer. And Jeffrey, that race car stays intact, stayed out of trouble amongst all the other chaos and mayhem are virtually around you tonight, and you get a podium out of the deal. It's got to be like a victory, isn't it?
Man, it really is. I tell you, that's all that saved me is just trying to get through traffic, just people driving really aggressive. And my nephew Tanner in the 00, he definitely had a very fast car, just like last weekend, and just got tied up in messes driving with just people driving really, really aggressive. And he does a heck of a job, and y'all do a heck of a job on the broadcast stuff. But yeah, this is definitely like a win almost.
Tanner was on to have a great day until that caution that brought us into our green-white checkered. Meanwhile, you started back in 10th. You were really caught in that swarm between the top 10 and the top 5 all night long. What did it take to work yourself through that over the course of the night?
My gosh, just had to drive about 3 cars ahead of you the whole time. Me and old Dylan Porter made it skin through one of those wrecks one time, and they told him it never had a butthole factor on the iRacing before in our life.
Oh,
That's
hey,
all it
there's
took
your
was
oh
put
yes
my
sir moment of the race right there. Okay, that comment from Jeffrey Cummer did it. Okay.
I'm telling you, it was funny though. Yes, sir, but it was a very fun race. Like I said, just had to look ahead and stay out of trouble.
I'll tell you what, man. This series, this program, LFRL. What can you say about it? And obviously, you've had your kind of share of highs and lows, but man, there's been more ups here recently for you. Another consistent finish, no doubt.
Yeah, no doubt. Landon does a heck of a job with this, and I told him that through messages and stuff like that on Discord. He does a heck of a job, and I appreciate everything he does on this. And he used to pay money every week and stuff like that. And I just much rather have it all broadcasted and get his name out there and the league out there. And I just appreciate everything he does for us.
Well, buddy, before we let you go, well, obviously I see you've got a lot of sponsors on the race car. Mesilla Valley Transportation, a lot of people don't know that business, but they're very big in the dirt racing world, right? On sprint cars, the World of Outlaws, the All-Star Circuit of Champions, or high limit, and of course, late model cars on dirt. But I see that's on your race car and so many others.
Oh, yeah. Them tricked out decals, especially. Cullen Designs, he does a heck of a job on all the wraps. Porter's RV sales, just everybody that's out there that helps me on all this stuff.
I love it. There you go. Jeffrey, is it Cummer? Did I say Cummer right?
Yes,
Jeffrey Cummer.
You're
Right?
about the only person that's ever said it right.
Sometimes that broadcast school pays off. And sometimes it doesn't, because we called somebody a Dietz and it's Dietz, I think it is, like in the German slang. But nonetheless, thank you, buddy. Jeffrey Cummer, ladies and gentlemen, he'll finish in the 3rd spot. We'll bring you back into the broadcast booth because there's our top 3 drivers. Cody, get them on down out of here. And, well, we're done. We're done. And that's the race. And I got a feeling Elevated TV's coverage of the LFRL Late Model Tour for Season 2, Scott Shive, is just going to get bigger and better and more wilder, especially after what we saw here tonight at New Smyrna Speedway. What a show. It's on to one of my tracks in my neck of the woods, my friend, Southern National Motorsports Park in Kinley. Talk about 17 degrees of banking. It looks like it's 24 degrees of banking. When it said it was 24 degrees at New Smyrna, it blew me away. But when you go to Kinley, it's banked, Scott, and we're going to experience that at the high banks of Southern National next Sunday night. Sir, your final take of this race.
Yeah, Southern National, love that place. Obviously, for me, when I get to drive in the iRacing sim, I think that is one of my best tracks in the late model stock, and I love to get to see drivers go out there and put it all out on the line. Talking about here the race from New Smyrna, I thought it was a great show. I thought we saw a little more cautions than we would have seen normally, but I think we still had great racing action all the way through the field. Obviously, we saw some good midfield pack fights. We saw 3-wide action. We saw 3-wide action even for second place. But I think at the end of the day, the people rose to the top. Sour Monkey Motorsports, Parker Eatman, and Jordan Black.
Now, is your @ I am Scott Shives? Is that really your handle?
You know,
really? I'm going to tell you something. If I come here the next Elevated TV broadcast and I see thee on my handle and it's not true, I'm coming to Indiana, Cody Deemers. Okay, I know where you live. That's right. I'm going to see him at the Winchester 400 out of nowhere. Scott, I'm just going to go like, bam, that's for thee. And he's going to be like, huh?
I believe that from you, Wesley.
No, man, it's a fun time. Here's a look again at what's to come on Elevated TV as it blocks our faces. What do you got? I know you got the modified tour, right, Scott? I know you're in one of the anchors with our buddy Emmett Crow.
And I'm on the JE Challenge Series.
I hope Emmett's feeling better. I hope Emmett Crow's feeling better. I know he was under the weather. He was supposed to work a 200-lap modified race with me, ironically, at New Smyrna last Wednesday night, and he was under the weather, so I had to call it with Cody a little bit. But, hey, listen, you mentioned Monday night. There's a big championship on the line at USA International, and that's a track that I went to I'm unveiling how old I am. I am. A long time ago when I used to work the USAR Hooters Pro Cup Series with Gene Crane down at USA International down in Florida. So that track is still available to make memories on iRacing, and that is an awesome place to determine the championship tomorrow night.
It's going to be great. The modifieds, those drivers at 4 Wide Motorsports have put it all on the line. The fight is definitely still open between Hunter Carlson and Alan Zelstra for the top spot. Then we'll go over the dirt at Lernerville, the place that you have been before with the JE Challenge Series. I've loved getting to call some dirt stuff. The guys over there have put on some excellent racing.
Yeah, and then you got that Daytona special. Andrew Regal, my friend from World Racing Group. I do a lot of announcing with Dirt Car. He's a good friend. I've done many of his iRacing events. He actually wanted me to be here Wednesday for that event, and I told him I didn't know. I'd have to check my schedule. But I know that is a big race at Daytona, 250 miles. That's going to be a fun one, 100 laps with a guy that does a lot of big money dirt races and now branches out and does things with pavement. I think that's going to be cool to see as well. And then another one is at 4 Wide Motorsports, also the late model stock tour. And I'll be in the booth for that. Me and Emmett Crow will be for that one on Thursday. And that will be, what a place to kick it off at Sobo. You got to love Sobo's 3/8 mile racetrack.
It provides some hard racing between those drivers, as you very well know. I mean, that place, one of the tracks that is known for excessive and hard contact.
Oh, yeah. Going to be a fun one for sure. Scott Shive, it's been great working with you as always. As always, thanks again to Cody Deemers. And phenomenal job on all the bells and the graphics and the whistles. I got one complaint. Get rid of the @the, and I'll be happy with everything else. The Easter Bunny 150 is coming up next. That's the next big event on March 21st and 22nd. Those will be twin 150 lappers because it's technically, Scott Shive, the Easter Twin 150.
Yes.
Back in the day, me and Alan Dietz and Bob Dillner, we were in the booth and on pit road for the broadcast when they first started streaming, right? A long time ago. Or we did Speed 51 radio, and it was the Easter Bunny 250. It was a 250 lap super late model race, but now they call it the Easter Bunny 150, which is still the Easter Bunny 300. They've just run 150 lap races on Friday night and Saturday afternoon. So I don't know what kind of format Cody Deemers has in his crazy virtual iRacing demon brain of his to come up with what we're going to see for entertainment, but it should be exciting to watch, and obviously that'll be the next big event. And I'll tell you, Scott, there's a lot of cool things. Look what's scrolling down on the bottom of the list here on the tab bar on your broadcast screen. Take your pick any night of the week. Cody Deemers is going to be wide open on Elevated TV with iRacing coverage.
It's going to be great. We've always got stuff going on, normally Sunday all the way through Thursday. Sometimes we take Wednesdays off. Sometimes we don't. We'll have it on this week. But like you said, always great stuff going on here at Elevated.
I am a man on a mission. I'm getting off the air. I'm going back to the store, and I'm going to go get my Pop-Tarts for breakfast. Strawberry and cherry. Hey, wait a minute. It's still on there. Strawberry and cherry flavored. So for Scott Shive, I'm Wesley Outlet, Cody Deemers. One more look around at virtual New Smyrna Speedway. And can I say finally, that is a wrap on what has been Speed Week at New Smyrna Speedway. And when it is said and done, Parker Eatman gets the win in the Dubby Energy 125. They had a shot in overtime. It finished under caution, and he wins it. Elevated TV coverage of the Left Front Racing League is in the book. We'll see you for round 3 next week on the high banks of Southern National in virtual Kinley. Good evening from our coverage on Elevated TV. I was going to say we'll see you next week in Kinley, North Carolina. So take care, everybody. Thank you.